Hello. I am in my new house. New house, old house, parents' house, moved back in, 21, turning 22 in a couple of days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. In 3 days. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Well, anywho, I have seemed to lost lots of my socks, so I have lots of mismatched pairs. And I'm wanting to tackle that tonight among other things, but the way that light is looking is bothering me. I'll just be like this the whole time. Nah, it don't matter too much. I want to talk about escaping the pit of doom. Sometimes I find that I put myself in this state of wallowing, pit of doom type situation. But low-key, it can be beneficial. For me, it happens whenever there are things that I want to be doing and ways that I want to be living, but then I'm not doing that thing, and then it's like I'm using not doing that thing as a way to do more things that are not that thing, but make me complacent when not doing that thing. If you watch some of my other videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. And I think we all have stuff like that. And for me, some of that has been eating red velvet cookies and then a bag of Takis on my floor. Yeah, the Takis wasn't as bad because it wasn't the on-brand ones. Like, I got the ones from Sprouts, which is a health food store that did not have red dye 40 because, well, I kind of forgot red velvet cookies had red dye 40 in it. And whenever I tell you, oh my gosh, the 17th was the official New Year, right? Like Chinese New Year and then other calendars like the Tibetan calendar, stuff like that. Actual New Year. And if you notice this change in the weather, it actually feels more like spring now. I finally was able to turn off my heater. I don't think we're going to really have, I live in Tennessee. I'm probably going to have maybe 1 or 2 more cold spells. But nothing crazy that I'm going to be this is what I'm wearing. It's not cold. I can't see that far, almost 70 degrees in my house. And where I was going with that, yes, the 15th, I got blasted out of my mind. I just been smoking a lot recently. And I knew it wasn't good for me, but I had some, and so I was using it. I should not have gone to the dispensary and got that stuff, but I did. And so I was doing that, and sometimes I find that being able to bring myself down to a lower state can be useful for noticing certain aspects of myself, and also sometimes seeing where I am unsatisfied in life. But it can also become very destructive for me very quickly. And so I thought the timing of everything was just crazy because I did that. I smoked my last little joint on the 16th. No, the 15th. Yes, 15th, 9/15th. Then I ate at least 6 or 7. They're maybe this little big red velvet cookies that my mom made for her party that she brought over. And I'm like my mama. She was like, they're not even that good, but I kept eating them. So the next day when I woke up, they were all thrown out. And I wish that they would have been thrown out and I didn't eat any of them because I got sick, man. I was there's no such thing as TMI whenever you're on someone's YouTube channel because this is my channel. So I was just throwing up. And I had a migraine the next day. Smoking. I get migraines sometimes, so that can trigger them, and I'm just always no, well, girl, it does. So I was sick the day before, literally purging and just coming to terms with life. And that was all before the New Year. And then New Year Day comes, and I'm just recouping myself Very restful. I've been very restful. Like, even now, I'm still a little sensitive because not only did like I get sick and was like throwing up red dye 40, but then the next day was whenever I had like this the 16th, the day before New Year's, is when I sat on my floor and had my Sprouts Takis. And then I had coffee the next day. And I had coffee today too. And my throat, like, she still be a little, it's better mostly for the most part now, but I'm singing more around the house. And it's only been 3 days. I wrote a song. I haven't finished a song. And I feel like months. And I just wrote this one today. It was so fun. Like, I already had the hook, but then I just pulled out my whiteboard and was like, and I have too many lyrics, and I get to pick which ones I want to be because I'm melodramatic. It's a bad habit, but yeah, I feel different. But when I tell you, like, my dreams coming back like crazy, and I've also been dreaming a lot more about my family. And I know some people probably like that's normal for them, but for me, seeing family faces has not been a pattern in my dreams. Yet now, I mean, I moved back home, but even when I've lived home for 18 years of my life before I went to college, and it wasn't something that I saw very much. And now I'm seeing it very much. And I'm feeling myself connecting to my father on a deeper, more spiritual level, to where like I wake up and then I'm like, hey dad, did you ask me about this? Because I don't know if it's about the timeline things or if it's like a little bit of telepathy, but it was actually about these headphones. I thought that he asked me about where did I put his headphones. But then I came downstairs to ask him about that, and I was like, the headphones are sitting right there. He was going to give me these headphones, actually. So, it's like when I was a little girl. My dreams get so interwoven with my waking state. And I won't say reality because I feel like being asleep is just as real as being awake. So, right now is my waking state. But my dream state is no less real than right now. And a lot of times it's in how I feel whenever I'm in certain things. But even my more so extended family is becoming in my dreams. And I'm remembering them more vividly. And I know that this time there is no going back. And I feel like I say that so much, but it's just like this constant up-leveling in life where once you hit a certain point, it's like almost just like everything falls down and that level no longer exists. That's the point I feel like I am at once again. And it reminds me of whenever I was going through one of my first phases, I don't know if that's the right word, like this, where I felt this way and coming to terms with the fact that it doesn't feel fun all the time. Being alive is not always a joyful experience. It's wonderful whenever it is a peaceful experience, but it doesn't need to be joyful all the time. That's not the point of life. And so I've just been very emotional recently, and it's not because like my period or anything that already happened. This is after the fact, where I would be like gaining more energy and not actually being as sad. But instead, I've just been like feeling so deeply, but I'm more solution oriented, and I'm feeling so deeply, and like some of the sadness I have is because I'm like, I want to be able to help, not just with my family situation, even down to helping my dad get better posture in his exercises, or helping my family live a more healthy lifestyle. But it's also like, okay, to get there, like, this comes with me. I have to do this stuff for myself first. And same thing goes to like a career or helping people in the realm of music and dance and even herbal medicine the way that I want to, the way that I see and I have envisioned and had these dreams and business plans for now, like some of them going back 6+ years. I think 5+ years is where most of it started for me. But I'm not backing down this time. That's the difference. And with this year, they call it the horse year. Moving on, I think it was the year of the snake, moving to a year of the horse. I say that, look over, and it's a horseshoe on my calendar sticker that I put there. That's funny. I didn't know about that when I put that there. I did not know anything about the year of the horse or whatnot. But it's also, I feel like your mind looks for confirmation of stuff that it knows internally to be true. It's not always like it was just a little planted there. It's just, you feel it and you know. Like I look over then and I see another horse in my room. But that I feel like I was looking for. Like I see the confirmations on both sides of me. But was it me that put it there? Yes, in a way. Who knows? I have been a person who gets burnt out. Back in high school, I had very depressive episodes. And so to the point, whenever it got into when I was in college, and these depressive episodes were like 2 weeks. Then 2 weeks would turn into like a week. And then eventually it was like 2 days of just feeling like so, I don't even know, just shut down, and like, not that everything was against me, but just like wanting to be in bed and rot and like treat myself poorly. That used to be my whole life. That used to be my whole life. That used to be how I lived. Starting in like sophomore year of high school, I started binge eating, and I didn't even know where it was coming from then, but like later found out it was because I didn't know who I was. I was putting on this dimmed version of myself to the world in order to try to gain acceptance from the friends that I was playing the role of being their friend. I mean, I loved them, I cared for them, but I wasn't me. So they couldn't really, well, not most of them. I was myself around some, but to a lot of the people, I wasn't fully myself. So how can you fully be loved if you're not fully showing people yourself? And so it was just this disconnect, and I was incontent, and I was taking it out on myself because I never gave myself the space to know myself, who I was, what I wanted. It's like, it's crazy because from the work that I've done, I can see how the truth was there the whole time. Every memory I have from being a kid points back to the same things. I find books of drawings that I've done when I didn't remember that I drew. And it just all comes back to fashion design. Yeah, fashion design, designing outfits for people, creating these characters, and like imagining them like living these lives and having stories. Singing, music, and dance. It's where I've just always admired that. But for so long, it was something I admired but felt this disconnect that that couldn't be me. But that can be me. And now, about 80% of that is me. The other 20% is still me, but it has just not entered here into this waking state yet. I have seen it, especially recently. A dream 2 nights ago where it is in the future or someplace else where it has already happened, some of it. And it's encouraging to receive something like that. And it just lets me know that, and this is what is it, the word you use, mantra. Yeah, a mantra that I used to tell myself back in high school when I was really going through it when I moved here initially and went from the binge eating to restrictive eating and was 114 pounds at one point, which is like 40 pounds less than I am now. And I by no means, there's like a little whatever there. I'm not fat. I'm a healthy weight, perfectly healthy, pretty flexible, whatever, kind of strong. Still want to work on my body, but this time with love. But back then I was in a bad situation, and just it was the form of control that I had for myself, and I was receiving praise for losing weight when I initially was. So that made me grasp on to that little bit of control and obsessively focus on that. I'm so grateful to not be in that state anymore, and it's crazy to me to think about how that was my reality. That was what I was doing. My actions were creating that for myself. And now when I think about it, I just take a moment to send that girl love, and to send the girl that was hurt and suppressing herself even more love, so it wouldn't get to that point. Maybe someday for someone it won't get to that point. But all this goes to say, the reason why I hopped on this to make this chat today is, for one, time stamper for myself. All my stuff on here is a time stamper for myself. Because someday, I believe I am going to make it, at least with the right people, for the people that I am supposed to reach and make an impact to. And if that person ends up only being myself and my family, that's fine. It's not easy work. It never was. And I felt like my problems were less deserving because of how much good has been provided to me in this life, that somehow it was my fault for not being happy, which just makes you feel even less happy and more disconnected. And I told myself I didn't have friends, and that's not true. I do have friends, but also I have to be my best friend first. Just me and good old God, which I see as something that is present not only in other people, but also in lots of ways of the world. I feel most connected to God whenever I am in a flow state where I completely lose sense of myself and become connected to something else, something greater, something that reminds me what it feels like to be alive, where everything else fades away and I am just, that's it. And that's what I get with dancing, and that's what I get with music, that's what I get with performing, that's what I get when I talk to people with no distractions. When you get lost in a good book, it can really be a way of living to where everything just falls into place and emotions arise, but you stay guided and stay knowing what is the next step, because you're not planning too far ahead. You can't plan too far ahead. You can see, you can envision, you can receive, but really I have an idea of what it is that I want to do, but I also know that I can only know so little. That's kind of the joy in it. Because what do you mean? I just get to be here and I just get to learn more and explore my interest and see where it goes and see who I meet along the way. It's what I look forward to. And it's what makes it feel like a breath of fresh air to fully step into the new year. And to be gentle with myself, to not take too much on, to pick up what I know that I can do well and do it to the best of my abilities. And make something I'm proud of. And make something my family will be proud of. And I don't just mean my mom and my dad, I mean my ancestors. I mean going generations and generations back. And for me, that means exploring that too. And documenting the oral history of my family. Because so much has been lost. And it's time to reclaim that and bring that purpose back into now so I can start what they initially came here to do, which was in hopes of a better life, even though some mistakes were made along the way. So it's a lot of work to do. And it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows, that's for sure. Like, a lot of it's going to be tough. It's going to require a lot of sacrifices. But you know, that's why you put trust in God. That's why you lean on God. It takes the burden off of you and allows you to go through it, to feel everything, to receive the lessons that you're supposed to receive through it, and grow as a person. Because if we are not growing, then what are you doing? If you are not getting healthier, you're getting sicker. It's like that. You can't just be still. We are not still. You can be still, but you are still stuck if you do that. And stuckness, once again, is not healing. That's backwards. So move your body. Figure out what it is that you fully let go of moving into this horse here. And strap up, put your little boots on, let's get to it. All right. XOXO inside your rose.